Those of you who don't know me, so I teach executive moms, so basically moms who are executives, to regain their confidence and let help them to get over their physical challenges, everything that comes in between a weak pelvic floor to a good posture. Well, I help the moms with that. And so today we're going to talk about a very common topic that I get asked about all the time. What are the most effective exercises to strengthen your back? So, when you have back pain, what are the most effective exercises for back pain? All right. So if you're watching me anywhere except the YouTubes, if you like what I'm talking about, go over to my YouTube channel after this and you can like, subscribe so you know every time when I come live online to basically talk to you guys and you can watch the video from there. All right. So last week we spoke about, can weak muscles be a cause of your back pain? So I got quite a few people who asked me about it because they never realized that if they don't have an active pathology or active problem going on, or a disease or an injury going on in their back, they can actually have back pain because they have weak muscles, right? So today I'm just going to take this a little further by talking about what sort of exercises can you do. So I see a lot of people who do quite a fair bit of exercises. And I think during this COVID time, all of us have become very aware of our health and very conscious about our exercises level, which is really good, which is great. But people who have back pain and they want to exercise because they want to not have another episode are still getting recurrent back pain. Now, is it that they are not doing the proper exercises? Is it that they're missing out on something? What is that element that will add to or that will reduce the chances of them getting recurrent back pain? So, we're going to talk about that today. So, basically, the secret of not getting recurrent back pain. Okay. So, usually what happens is when we are strengthening, we are just looking at the bigger picture and missing out on the simpler exercises. Okay, so I'll explain what I mean by that. um, there are two types of muscles in our body. One are the big movers. So if you look at somebody, say we're looking at the back, I'm saying specifically for the back, but this is applicable throughout the body. So if you look at somebody's back, you can see the bigger muscles on the surface of the back, right? These are the movers. So these are the movement creating muscles. And then if you go into the deeper layers of the muscles, so we are talking like right down to your vertebra, to your spine, you will see that there are some muscles which are really tiny, like running from one vertebra to another. These are the smaller muscles that stabilize the spine. So, for example, these muscles will stabilize your spine. So, they're like a corset or a support system around your spine. So, they support your spine while you are, say, reaching out to, say, take something off the shelf, or reaching out to carry your child, or reaching out to carry a heavy bag for work. All right. So, these are the muscles that stabilize the spine. So usually people will miss out on these stabilizers. These are popularly known as the core. So I know there's a big misnomer around in the, especially in the fitness industry, which says, oh, core is your six pack abs. It isn't. That are your superficial muscles. Those are your movement muscles. Core is always your stabilizing muscles. Those are the deep down muscles that you can't see. These are like the third, fourth layers of muscle, like the deepest layer of muscle in your body. Okay, so let me give you an example to simplify the concept of the core. So if you look at an apple, right, if you cut it open, inside the apple is the core. You know those fibrous area of the apple, the center of the apple, where which holds the seeds, etc. That is the core of the apple. So if you compare this to a human body, so think of your spine and those muscles around the spine that are stabilizing it, and that is the core of the apple. So that's the core of the human body. And the fleshy area around the core of the apple, those are your bigger movement creating muscles. Okay, so those are your global mover muscles. So if, say, the flesh of the apple is you keep focusing on strengthening that part of the apple, but the core is not strong enough. You have any external pressures on the apple, it'll completely collapse because it doesn't have that core to strength to hold it together, right? But if the core is strong, even if your bigger outer fleshy part, those bigger muscles are weak, you will still be able to withstand the pressure. It will not completely collapse the apple. Okay, so similarly, in our body, we have the core muscles. Now, one interesting fact is, okay, let's talk just about sorry, I'm just cutting myself off, but let's talk about the lower back because we're talking about back pain. So in the back pain, one interesting fact is your core is in the shape of a cylinder. Okay, so this cylinder, on the top there's a muscle called the diaphragm that's sitting right under your lungs. On the side, the walls of the corset is made up of the deepest layer of your oblique muscles. So when you're talking about obliques, when you're doing all those side crunches, when you're doing your strengthening, you are uh, being stabilized by those oblique muscles there, the deepest, the third layer of obliques. Okay, so and at the bottom of the cylinder is your pelvic floor. Okay, so you've got like a cylindrical core that is holding your spine in a stable position. So suppose this is your spine, this is the core, so it's basically holding it together. And when you're doing any movements, these muscles, these core muscles are stabilizing the spine. They're giving that strength to the spine in order for the movement muscles to do big actions, be it lifting weights in the gym, be it lifting your child, be it moving around or just turning in bed. Okay, so the core is active all the time. Now, going back to our question of what are the most effective exercises to strengthen your back, you definitely need to do strengthening exercises for the bigger muscles. However, do not miss out on strengthening your core muscles. If you do not have a strong core, you are bound to get recurrent back pain. If you look at research out there on the core muscles, it has been proven time and again that if your core is not strong, you are bound to get recurrent back pain. So the key point of this whole video is, if you're going to go on and strengthen those back muscles, do not ignore your core muscles. You should strengthen them. And it's quite simple. The exercises are not anything fancy. They're quite simple exercises. If you want to know more about strengthening your back, your core muscles, etc., you can pop into my free community, and I will leave a link in the description of this video. For those of you who are watching me on Instagram, the link is in the bio and you can follow it from there. It says my community. For those of you watching me on LinkedIn, I have a community on LinkedIn which is named Executive Mums Rising Up. Be appreciated. If you can't find it, just message me and I can lead you there. Alrighty, I hope this was useful and some interesting facts that you've learned about muscles and strengthening for the back. Alrighty, if you have any questions, feel free to message me and I'll be happy to answer them for you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.